And hello to all my friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your singles and couples love tarot, love readings for all of the signs. I do these on the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th of every single month. If you see your sign in the text right here, the overlay, you are in the right place, the right video. I have to split these into two videos because they get so long. If your sign is not in the text, you are in the other video. I put the link for that in the description to help you find that easier, so nice and simple. And also there's the timestamp here, as well as chapters broken up so you can find your sign right away. I do singles and couples in the same slot. So I'm going to use all the 6 of my tarot decks here. 4 of them are tarot decks, 2 are angel oracle card decks. This is going to be very fast-paced reading, a fast-paced spread. We're just going to get right into it. So let's get going. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time so that we can just do the ritual cuts and just roll it right out. So let's get started. Okay, so here we go. Leo is first. Leo is up. Let me do the ritual cuts for both of the decks here. Here we go, Leo. Cuts the deck into 3 pieces, puts it back together in a separate order, then they're ready to go. It's going to be for quite a few signs, actually, that oracle deck. And then this one's going to be for 3 signs here. Got a ritual cut it as well. Put it back together in a separate order, and we're all set. So here we go, Leo. Leo singles. And Leo couples. Leo couples got a big theme there. Let's tack on one of these guys here, a little bit more info. Okay. Starting with Leo singles, they want to talk about you not leaving something behind. Not kind of in it to win it right now. Really kind of there for a lot of you feel like you need to, or perhaps no, it's going to be different varying degrees. It's hard to pinpoint, but the energy of the card is leaving something behind and not looking back, moving beyond it. So it's like a purge of something, getting rid of something. Perhaps it's a person or a mindset or a factor coming up in your love corner here. That's the first thing they want to talk about. So when it comes in blocked, it shows that you are against doing this or having a hard time doing this, or there's something in the way of you leaving this thing, person, or whatever it is, habit, emotional attachment behind you. That's the first thing they show, and it is an emotional attachment. Anytime we have cups, it's usually emotions, and that's what comes up here. 8 of Cups inverted. Next thing they show is kind of going back and making up your mind about things. A lot of you, this is moving in the past direction. So the factors may be from the past, but this is an action that is in your mind. It's not a physical action like where you're actually doing something now. It's almost more of a mind game. So it's really making up your mind action than actually like doing an action physically. So that's what they talk about there. So this may be a past lesson or going back to the past, perhaps looking back at somebody either you dated or somebody that's in your family or friend circle, your love corner, because it expands out to all of it. And looking at that and perhaps consider what's worth fighting for and consider what's not. That's what I have to say there. They show that there's a level of unsuccess here, so this is something that you feel like is a failure, whether it is or not. That may be illusionary as well. They show that that's an emotion too. It's an emotional attachment there with the 9 of Cups. So cups are always emotional suit, and that is just something that you view as unsuccessful. It doesn't mean it's not, and perhaps it's unsuccessful for a reason. Not everything is supposed to work out the way that you think it's going to work out. So that's what we show there for Leo singles. As we move into Leo couples, they start with the death card. Now this is usually not physical death. For some of you, you may have been dealing with a physical death, but usually this is more about the energetic purge of a clean slate, starting something gosh darn brand new right here, spanking, sparkling new, that there is just no carryover from before. It's like completely new on a cellular level. So there can be no carryover energetic from before this. This is a brand new clean slate like I just talked about. They bring up a decision. There's an important decision that a lot of my Leo couples need to make that have not been made yet. So I don't know what this is. It's going to be different, but this 10-day window, since it comes up that way and presents itself that way, it's a good time to do that. It's a good time to make up that decision, whatever that is, or to work on it. They show a lot of you are working together here, also working with younger people. That could be kids, could be younger family members, stuff like that comes up. But it's working together. 2 people working together together or 2 units working together. So if this expands out and it's not even about your partner, this could be very much you working close with a family member these next 10 days, perhaps doing a project or learning something new. All that kind of stuff comes up there. We have observer, so a lot of you are watching instead of acting, and that's okay. That's what they show. They show that it's okay to kind of take a backseat view right now and just kind of, observe everything that's going on, so that you can make the decisions that are best for you, especially when we get back to that decision that needs to be made. So that's what we have for Leo. Leo couples, good stuff there. We move into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is next. That one's ready. All right, Sagittarius, singles. Big theme for Sagittarius singles. Sagittarius couple. This one's going to need a discard. It's going to be ran the way it is, so that one's good. Just needs an oracle card. Okay. Sagittarius singles, they want you to consider soulmates. At least that's what's coming up. That's my oracle card. So a lot of you may have been thinking about this. May have been thinking about, when am I going to find somebody that's worth a darn? Somebody that is, good for me. Somebody that's going to, pan out. All that kind of stuff comes up. They're showing behind that, though, that there is, like I said, this is a big theme. There's information that you don't know yet. You don't know the full scope. You don't know the whole story. And you're not supposed to right now. It's, you're getting a piece of the puzzle right now, and you don't have the whole thing. So you don't even, how are you going to put a puzzle together when you don't even have the cover of the box to look at to see what it's supposed to look like? That's kind of that metaphor, and that's the vibe of what's going on right now for my single Sagittariuses. They show that that there's an action here in the physical realm here that is happening. So this is not making up your mind. This is actually taking an action. So I don't know exactly what this is. If this is, it does look back in the past. So this is probably with somebody that you're familiar with, or at least know. But there is an action coming up there. And there's also showing the Ten of Swords inverted that shows a lot more mobility coming out of being extremely tied down. So some of you may have been newly single too. That, for those of you that are newly single, it's coming up as a huge freedom. It's a chance for you to bloom right here. And basically, even when you're tied down, they show that you're blooming backwards in this card. So it's very good to see that either way, you're flourishing no matter what circumstance happens. So keep in mind that action, especially looking back, but definitely that action in the next 10 days. It's a good action time. Just make sure that you don't act out of whack or out of character or out of basically going back to you don't have all the information. So wait until maybe you do have all the information before you make big decisions, stuff like that. But we have a smaller action going on right here. They want you to consider soulmates. So that's what we have there for Sagittarius singles. Moving into Sagittarius couples, much simpler theme. They show being a little wrapped up right now. And this may be in the relationship. This may be in the family. Could also be with friends. Usually it's more relationship vibe, but I have to give you the general scope because it's a general reading. Being tied down in a love spread is usually a good thing. It's usually what people want to have happen. And this is a reminder here to stop and smell the roses. So you have a lot of good things going on here. It may not feel that way because I have the second best card in the deck here next. Problem is it's blocked. It's coming in blocked. So it's saying like there's a lot of joy or a lot of potential for joy here, but it's not either here yet or there's something in the way. This is not coming in clean. So they want you to stop and smell the roses. They're saying that there is something good here. There's something good here that maybe just needs work, or maybe it just needs, you need to wait a little bit until it blooms more. Maybe this next level, whatever it is coming up, blocked for a reason because it's just not here yet. That could also be the case. So that's what we have there for Sagittarius couples. Good stuff there. Just be patient, Sagittarius couples. Just be patient. Next up is Capricorn. Capricorn is next. Capricorn singles. Nice and simple. And Capricorn couples. That one needs a discard. That's going to be uprighted. Everybody up over here. We'll talk about why that is in just a moment. But first, Capricorn singles. Capricorn singles, we want to talk about being at a fork in the road. A fork in about 6 roads is what they show. It is the Two of Wands, but in this deck specifically, it shows almost like a compass point where there's like 6 different spots here. and that represents paths. There's different paths that you can take your love corner here. So it's very empowering for my Capricorn singles. It's a lot of different choices. Which way are you going to go with this? A lot of you aren't sure. So it's a good time to think about it. There is blocked growth right here. So it's okay that you're not sure, because this growth, they show you have the key to this growth. But until you really make up your mind, it's really hard for the universe to put the pieces together as far as what you're trying to attract and what path you're going down. So really kind of work on these next 10 days. I would work more on figuring out what exactly you're trying to do and how you're going to go about it. Really a good time to set goals. So that's what we have there for Capricorn singles. Capricorn couples. We start with a work correspondence. For some of you, work is really kind of getting in the way of your home life, either your relationship or your family, definitely with friends. But it's impeding there. Work is really trying to reel you in, reel you away from it, or it's just sucking a lot of your energy right now. So keep that in mind. You want to keep a good balance. You don't want things to get way too heavy on one corner or the other. You really want them to flow quite well. So that's what's coming up there. You're going to need to continue to work on that. The next thing we have is a small victory. This is a good little thing. It's something that you fought for, is what they show. So I don't know if this is moving the relationship to a healthy spot here, or going out to celebrate something, or a nice dinner or gathering, something like that comes up. It's a small victory, so it's not huge, but small victories add up to big victories. So good things to see there. We end with a message, a mental message that's coming in probably pretty soon here. For some of you, this has to do with a person, perhaps an ex, either of you or the other person. It's just somebody from the outside looking in. So it's a correspondence of some form. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And this could also be somebody from your past. They're also letting me know that, this is not just like an ex type thing, but this could be somebody from your past, like an old friend that's looking in too. So that's the kind of vibe that comes up there. So that's what we have for Capricorn couples. Next up is Taurus. I need to switch decks. This deck is finished. We move over here. There we go. All right, so the ritual cuts here, and then we'll be underway. That was an easy one. Okay, Taurus. Taurus is next, and Taurus singles first. And Taurus couples. Okay, I need a discard here. It's going to let me know to run it. Now, Taurus singles, you guys are coming in completely blocked. Let's see why that is. But basically, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot going on right now for Tauruses. They show, the first thing they want to talk about is that it's really a time to keep it in. It's really not a time to put something out there, or even yourself out there. It's really just not the time. And that could be for a variety of different reasons. It could just be because there's just nobody good out there for you right now. And this is just a 10-day reading. Keep that in mind also. This is not forever. This is not even for a month. This is just that these next 10 days here, they show that really just kind of internalize right now. Keep things at home. Keep things within yourself. It's okay to be a little bit of a hoarder right now as far as love. You don't want to put yourself out there, is what they're showing. There is a love message that's coming in later, and that perhaps is why. Probably toward the end of these next 10 days, or moving into mid-December perhaps, somewhere before the end of the year, there's a love message coming in here, and I don't know exactly what that is or what it corresponds to, but they show for some of you this is a return of somebody from your past. So this may also be a friend that's coming back into your life, like in a strong way. This could also be a past lover, like an ex, but it usually doesn't fall into the family group. So it's usually, I feel like it's strongest like a friend that's either moving back to the area, and like now you're going to have more opportunity to hang out, or maybe your aunt or uncle or a cousin is moving close to you, and you're going to be able to spend more quality time, all that kind of stuff. So that's the vibe, at least. So finding the context of that, of course, is key. But that's the vibe, that's the likelihood there for Taurus singles these next 10 days. As we move into Taurus couples, they show something brand new here. So I've seen this come up for a house. This is something to the touch new. So this is either buying something new, something with new money, moving new money around for the family, for the relationship, just brand new. Could be a purchase of a new house, a new car, something like that. So good things come up there. It's new money. It's kind of self-explanatory. What they show right behind that is there's also more freedom going on. So the freedom within the relationship, freedom within the family. This is getting over perhaps some stagnation, some stuff that wasn't moving for a while, and now it's starting to break open. So very good vibes there for Taurus couples. Good things. Next we move into Gemini. Gemini is next. Gemini singles right here. And Gemini couples. Big theme there for Gemini couples. And one of these. Okay. Gemini singles, they want to talk about there's a disconnect here. They really want you to work kind of on yourself. They really are saying that there is a disconnect here between spirit world and physical world. So they're having a hard time kind of working behind the scenes for you, behind the curtain, you know, getting you where you want to be in your love corner, moving parts around, you know, attracting the things you want to do. So what we need to do to work on this, first of all, is be defensive. You need to kind of like hold the line right now. It's not really time for you to take charge and like, you know, join like 20 different dating sites and do all these different things. It's kind of a time to hold on. Let's just wait for a second here. Let's go back to the very beginning, which is what we just said. So they don't want you to take offensive action right now. It's really the time to go back and fix this connection. So if they're having a hard time getting through and you know, helping you pull in magnetically the things that you want to attract, we need to get back to why that is. So be very sure about your priorities, work on your priorities, work on your goals, your mindset. Don't be negative. You're going to end up attracting more of that. So whatever you think about is what you're going to pull in. So very important time these next 10 days to kind of work on yourself and go over in your mind what you're trying to do here. And that way, you can not focus on all the stuff you're not trying to do, and hopefully it won't just it'll stop permeating. And basically all we got to do is turn this card around. That's all they're looking to do. And once you do that, then you can go on the offensive again too. So you can kind of take charge and go after what it is you're trying to do. So that's what we show there for Gemini singles. Gemini couples, like I said, big theme. A lot of you have made a major decision here. So this is either, you know, moving the relationship to a new level, getting engaged, getting married. This is, you know, this is a big deal of some form, or at least it presents itself that way. They show that a lot of you have taken great authority in your love corner. So this can, you know, this can show itself in different ways, but taking great authority means taking great control, and, you know, it's a good spot to be. They want you to avoid bad decisions, so just maybe tread a little lightly. It's not really a time for risks either. They're saying new life for my oracle card, so this is like a brand new pedestal, you know, that has just risen up. A lot of you are just in a really good spot here, so we want to avoid the bad decision, and you can do that by limiting the risks these next 10 days. So good stuff for Gemini couples there. We're going to conclude with Scorpio. Scorpio will be the last sign, and that's ready. So Scorpio singles and Scorpio couples. I need a discard, and that's good to run. Okay. Scorpio singles, they want to talk about blocked long-distance travel is one definition of this card. It is not the common one, but since it's a general reading, I at least have to bring it up. So some of you may have been thinking about long-distance travel or doing something like that in regards to your love corner, moving with family somewhere far away or something like that. For the rest of you, the more common definition is this is the next chapter of your love corner, but it's not here yet. It's basically like a chapter in a book. And, you know, you feel it coming, you can see it coming, but you're just not there yet. And perhaps you don't like that. You know, perhaps you wish you were just there. You know, you were ready to roll and do whatever and move forward with this, but they're saying the time is not now. You really need to nurture here. They're saying work. So a lot of you have a strong potential here to meet somebody at work at some point down the road. Doesn't mean it's happening right now, but I have to at least bring that up. They want you to nurture your work life. For some of you too, you know, family and home and friends can take away energetically from what you're doing at work. So they want to avoid that too. I don't think that's the case. They show that you guys do a pretty good job of that. But at the same time, we need to continue that. Any good stuff that comes up, that basically means we want to continue it. There's a continuance needed. So work is probably going to, you know, continue to need, you know, don't neglect work is a long story short. Don't neglect work. We end with the Four of Wands here inverted. So this is an event. This is something that's not here yet. Something worth celebrating, or at least at a later date, it's worth celebrating. So it's not here yet. It's marked by an event or I kind of feel like that's my concert card. I call it a concert or art gallery card. It's like going to do something fun, an event of some form, just not here yet. It can also be a celebration like a wedding or a ceremony, stuff like that. Coming in blocked, it's saying that it's not here yet, so probably not within these next 10 days, if you know what I'm talking about. So there is Scorpio singles. Scorpio couples, that's where we're going to wrap up. They talk about that this is a little bit of a slow time for Scorpio couples, and that's okay. Don't get too bored. Don't get too lost in the slow time. It's okay to have a slow time once in a while. Not a lot of activity is not always a bad thing. It's a time that you can enjoy other things, perhaps. Maybe some of you are spending less time with your partner. Some of you may be spending more time with your partner. And, depending on what side of that you enjoy more is the perception of what you emotionally prefer. So just keep in mind that, it may be going the opposite way of the way you want it right now, these next 10 days, but the change in the wind is okay. And, just don't get too bored or discontent with it because it's temporary. Over here next, we show the Ten of Swords inverted. That's getting over the paper cuts. I call that card the Death by 1,000 paper cuts in this deck specifically. So it's an extremely excruciating period. So a lot of you, thank God, are getting over this. So I don't know if this is dealing with something within the family, a problem, solving stuff, getting over just some kind of pain, perhaps in the relationship too, or with friends. But moving over it, getting beyond it, thank God we're there. And, this is going, basically, I'm just letting you know that you're on the other side of this hump now, and things are improving. Things are getting better in this corner, your love corner. Things are getting at least smoother and calmer. So don't get stuck into the boredom of things not happening right away, or perhaps slower or different than you expected. So that's going to wrap up our entire spread. I've been through all the different signs here for these 6. We have Leo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, and Scorpio. I want to thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you soon.